Hi, Claire Downham, Queen of Calm with the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. And today I'm inviting you to consider the randomness of your thoughts. I mean, have you ever noticed how strange it is what pops into your head at any moment in time? I was on a call last night, a group call, where we were taken on a guided meditation, and it was really interesting to notice what things just popped into my head as I was guided to and invited to see things and to visualize things. And that's one place where I can really see, oh, that's really, I don't know where that came from. Suddenly there'll be an image or an idea or a picture that'll appear in my mind through something like a visualization. But also, have you noticed how day in and day out there is a random nature to what appears in your head? So it may well be that you're doing something, busying yourself, working, whatever, and then a thought just pops into your head of something from a long time ago. Maybe a happy memory, maybe a not so happy memory, but it's just random, isn't it? Or an idea will pop in, or something you were meant to get from the shops yesterday. You'll suddenly remember it. That's really annoying, isn't it? When you've been to the shops and you know you've got like this feeling, haven't you, that you've forgotten something at the shops, and then all of a sudden, 2 days later, you go, I was supposed to get that. I didn't get that. And there is a real random nature to it. There's a random nature to what pops into our heads. Now, you may have noticed that there are some thoughts that you can just have that kind of light relationship with, where you just go, oh, that's really strange that I thought about that. How bizarre. But that there are other thoughts that seem really pressing, that seem like they've got some information in them that you must attend to. And quite often, you may have noticed that those are the thoughts that take you away from feeling calm. They're the ones that seem like they've got bells and whistles on them telling you that you need to pay attention. And I really do wonder why it is that we take some thoughts so much more seriously than others. Why do we do that? It really interests me. Maybe you've got some thoughts about why we do that. But it seems that some thoughts are more important than others. Some thoughts are more pressing. Some thoughts are more important. But you may have already noticed, or you may have noticed as well, that some of those thoughts that feel really pressing and feel really important, they feel really uncomfortable. Maybe you've noticed that. Maybe you've noticed that sometimes you get a thought in your head, and with that thought comes a really uncomfortable feeling. And sometimes I talk about that, how your feelings are your guide. But what would it be like if you could have that same easy relationship with those thoughts that feel really pressing as you do with the random ones that pop into your head? I wonder what that would be like. Because it turns out that no thought has any more real importance to it than any other. Most of our thoughts, well, all of our thoughts are pretty random. But for some reason, there are some that we just get hooked into more than we get hooked into others. And as always, this is just an invitation an invitation to get curious. What would happen if you took less of your thoughts seriously, less of the time? What if you really started to realize that all those thoughts, all the thoughts that come into your head are random? And where have you noticed the randomness of your thoughts? Sometimes it's fun to play with this, to just lie quietly for a while and notice the thoughts going past. Notice what pops in. But as I always say, noticing with just a sense of curiosity, a sense of being aware, a sense of, oh, isn't it interesting? And knowing that you don't have to do anything about any of those thoughts. You might like to try that little experiment and let me know how it is, how it feels to just allow those thoughts to pass. Because the other thing about understanding how random your thoughts are, it is that it takes some of the responsibility away from you. Now, I'm not saying that I want you to remove all responsibility from your life. But it seems to me there's a message out there about thoughts and feelings and behaviours that there has to be a pushing and a shoving to change them. And this is an invitation to not try and change your thinking, but change the relationship you have with it. And when you realise that it's random, it starts to feel a little bit less like it's all about you. Like when I'm doing these conversations, when I'm sharing what I'm sharing, there is a real sense that I'm not producing those words. Maybe you've experienced that too, where you're really in the flow with something. You're in a conversation or you're sharing something and you're speaking, or perhaps for you it's with writing. And you notice that you're just in a beautiful space of flow. And you're not the one making that happen. I couldn't possibly consciously make all these words come out of my mouth. I do feel this sense of it coming through me rather than from me. And perhaps you can experience that with thought, getting the sense that there's this amazing, powerful energy out there or around us, part of who we are part of what we are part of. We're all part of this amazing energy. And sometimes that energy, well, all of the time, that energy is the power that pushes thought through you. You know, you're not thought anyway. That's not who you are. You might be who you think you are. Because, of course, that's the sneaky little trap, isn't it? Thought is passing through you. And it's supposed to flow. But when we start to make meaning about certain thoughts, their thoughts that I shouldn't have, their thoughts I need to do something about, the thoughts about the future, so I must take some action in the present, etc., etc. It becomes a whole lot of doing instead of a beautiful sense of something passing through you. And as a result of that, trying to do something about it, we often get in our own way and we stop the flow. It's like if we try to build some kind of device to stop the clouds flowing, we'd cause even more havoc in the environment than we've already caused. So, as always, I just invite you to bring some curiosity to this. Can you notice how this is playing out in your life? And enjoy that experience. Thank you. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, and this has been the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.